This is a cute bumblebee and flower painting I'm going to show you. Now you could do any kind of background you'd like. I'm going to show you an abstract background. Taking my mop brush, I cleaned it off so it was just slightly damp. And I'm going to do a few different color splotches around the outside edges of my canvas. This is an 11 by 14 canvas board. So I did a few blue ones. I cleaned off my mop brush again and I dried it, but I left it damp. I'm going to do a few light pink splotches here on the left and right. Then I'm going to clean it off one more time. Let's dip into some dark yellow. Now I'm going to do most of my dark yellow here at the bottom. Notice I'm just doing light little circular brush strokes here, kind of dusting it into the picture. Did it all along the bottom. I want it to seem more like a sunset. And let's dust some here in between the blue and the pink like this. So see, I have a round circle of color. And then clean it off one more time. It's still slightly damp. This time I didn't put any paint on my brush and I'm just doing light little dusting circular strokes all around the edges of the color to blend it. Don't worry if it dried, we are going to go back and add white around the inside. So I cleaned it off again, took some white, and I'm doing the little circular brush strokes all along the outside edge of these colors here. And I'm going to do this all the way around the circle. Notice I left the brightest colors around the outside edge of the canvas and I'm just dusting the color, blending it in on the inside edge. And then once you do that, make sure to fill in the center of your picture. That's where your focus is going to be with the flowers and the bee. The color is just going to act like a frame around your focus point. At the bottom here, I decided I wanted it yellow all the way down to the bottom, even though I'm going to add grass, so I'm adding that down here. And then once you finish all of that, you can go back in while the paint is still wet and dust in any more colors you would like. I did some more yellow, blue, and pink in some areas. Now, if you're struggling with it blending, again, just dry it off and take just a damp brush and you can blend these rough edges here. See how that makes a difference? And here's how mine turned out. Again, you can do whatever kind of background you'd like. You could do a solid blue background if you want to skip the abstract look, but I love the color. Now grab a round brush and we're going to do some grass at the bottom of our picture. I took some dark green mixed with some yellow from my background, and I'm just doing light upward brush strokes all the way across the bottom. I lightened my green with some yellow just to make it look like a layer of grass is in the distance. And I'm using my round brush because it has a pointed tip. It's great for painting lines like grass. So notice I have them going all the way across, and then I dipped into some darker green with my round brush. And I'm going to do another layer in front of this grass to make it look like it's closer to us. Now notice some of my grass is leaning to the right and some of my grass is leaning to the left. I have it especially parted where my stem is going to be for my flower. So once you have your grass, dry it. And what I want you to do first is take a pencil. Now see where my stem is going to be. I sketched out the center of my flower. It's just a tilted oval and the oval is leaning the direction that the flower is going to be going. So once you have that, then grab your round brush again and take the same color you used for the lighter shade of grass. I'm gonna start at the bottom of the center of my flower and pull down into the grass like this, starting with light brush pressure and getting harder brush pressure as I get down to the bottom. Add two little connecting points like this for leaves, and then you can use your round brush to just create a teardrop shape for your leaves coming off of those little stems. I did them like this and filled them in. Then you can go back and thicken up anything you want. Now I like to step back. That's a big flower, so I'm going to make my leaves slightly bigger. Always start smaller, and then if you need to make them bigger, you can. But if you make them too big to start, you can't go back as easily. So there's the bottom of my flower. Dry the green really, really well and grab your pencil again. Now the flower petals are going to have some perspective, so draw another oval around the center of your flower, but think of this one as more of an orbit, where the line at the top of the center is actually closer to the center, and the bottom line is actually further away from the center. This is because the petals at the bottom of your flower are going to be longer, they're going to be closer to us, and the ones at the top of the flower are going to be shorter because they're further away from us. I'm also taking my pencil and making little lines coming out to help space out my petals. These lines will be closer together at the top of your flower, and they're going to be wider at the bottom. So see, I'm even going to erase this one, so that's a wide petal. It's closer to us, so it'll be bigger. Now figure out what color you want your flower to be. I'm going to do a pink one, so I'm going to start with a darker pink mixed with some orange, and I'm using a filbert brush, which is a flat brush with an oval rounded tip. This brush is perfect for painting rounded edges, so we're going to use them for the petals. First, start by outlining those lines, and then using the rounded edge, we're going to make a U-turn by pressing down when you get to the outside edge of the petal and connecting to the line on the other side. Notice how I rotated the brush, so I was using the rounded tip at the top of the flower and turning it vertically to meet the other side. So same thing. Big U-turn here, press down flat using that rounded edge and make a complete turn connecting the sides. This is a great painting to practice this brush stroke, because if you can master this with the filbert brush, you're going to be able to paint all sorts of rounded edges. Notice how each of my petals are slightly going on the outside edge of my big round oval that I made. And look, as we're getting towards the back side, because that oval is closer to the center here, these are the smaller petals in the distance, we're going to have a smaller U-turn and then fill it in like that. This is just the underpainting, so we're doing each of our petals a solid color. And don't worry if you can see any of your lines underneath, because with all the layers we're going to do, you're not going to see them in the end. Now coming around to the other side of the flower, the petals are going to start getting bigger again. So notice this one is slightly wider, and these last two here are going to be pretty big. So one big U-turn coming around. That one didn't make it too far outside the oval, but I still made sure I went over that line so it was under the paint. And fill it in. One more big U-turn here. There we go. That's the base color of our flower. Now taking the same brush, add a tiny bit of white to the same color you used, and I'm just going to add a highlight layer in the middle of each of my petals. Now for this brush stroke, I'm just starting on the edge of my petal and pulling inwards. Notice I left some of the darker color on the outside edges, and I'm just doing 1 or 2 brush strokes coming down from the outside and pulling in. You can even curve them a little bit to make it look like they're curving into the center like this. Super simple. Still using the curve of your brush to get that curve like this, but we're adding the highlight. Just a little bit of white makes a huge difference. Look at that. And then dry it. Now I'm going to switch to my round brush again, but I'm going to take some of my pink. I didn't mix any orange with it this time. And I'm going to add some brush strokes coming out from the outside edge into the petals. I'm doing some expression strokes here. So notice how I'm kind of outlining the outside edge of the highlight and then just pulling a few tiny pink brush strokes into the center of the flower. This just gives it a little bit more of a shading and dimension look. You don't have to do this if you don't want to get super detailed, but I like all 3 colors playing together. I like to even take my round brush and pull in a couple strokes all the way around the inside edge into the center of the petal. There. And you could keep it like that. I even went back in with a bit more white and added a few more highlights in the center of each of my petals. It's entirely up to you. If you do too much, you can always add more expression strokes in there to help blend it in. Once you have all the color in there, dry your petals. We have to add the center to our flower. So I'm going to use one of my fine artist sponges here and some dark yellow from the background. And all we're going to do is just tap in some texture. Fill in any blank space and even have the texture overlap with the petals like this. We're going to do a couple different shades like we did with the flower petals. So see, that's dark yellow. Let's add some shading with some light brown here. I'm just going to tap in some of that brown on the bottom edge of my center. Almost looks like a smile. And then I put some yellow with some white on my sponge, and I tapped in some highlights along the top of my flower center like this. I love this. If you don't have an artist sponge, you could also use an old rag with texture or a crumpled up paper towel. Anything that has texture would work. Let's even blend this center here with some more of that darker yellow. There we go. Oh, I love it. And since this is more of a cutesy painting, I'm going to take the back end of my paintbrush and add a couple dots of white in my center as well. Little pops of highlights. And there's my flower. I love it. You can't have a flower without a bumblebee. So now taking my round brush, let's do a bumblebee flying on this right-hand side here. Start with an oval like this, and then give him a head. So do a tinier circle on the left-hand side. He's flying towards the flower. I pointed my oval a bit on the bottom of him there, and then dry it. Now I painted him white first because then when you dry it, you can add your yellow. If not, your yellow would get muddy and not as bright. And we want a bright yellow bumblebee. Let's even take some white for highlights here on the top of him and then dry that shape. Then I'm going to switch to a detail brush and some black paint to add all his details. So let's start with the head. I'm just going to do one big circle for his head at the top here with the black. And then on his body, I'm going to do some curved black lines. I did the one in the middle a little thicker than the two on the outer edges. And for his stinger, I just kind of outlined the bottom of here and did a tiny line coming out like this. So cute. And then for highlights, I took my detail brush with some white and did a little curve on his head and 1, 2, 3 little highlights on the black stripes. We also have to give him wings. I took some white and mixed some of the background color. See what's behind him? I started off with them being kind of transparent. You can barely see them. I'm just making the outline first and then adding more white as I go. Notice my placement. And then you can add whatever details you want. Like I added more white highlights and then I went back in with some gray and added some little veins and outlines. Now I am aware that bumblebee wings usually have rounded edges like the flower petals. You could absolutely paint them this way. I just wanted to add a little bit more edge to my bumblebee and make them slightly pointed. That's entirely up to you. The great thing about painting is it's your world. You can do whatever you want. And you could do whatever style, wings, and antenna you want. So I added little curves with dots for antenna. I added a tiny bit of black to my yellow and added some shading at the bottom of my yellow stripes. I even added some blue veins in my wings as well. I love that. That ties in the blue from the background. I'm going to take a slightly darker gray and darken the shading that's towards the body, towards the bottom of the wings here. And there's also usually two wings on either side, two sections of the wings, I should say. So I'm going to do a slight little tiny wing coming out from this one over here. You probably wouldn't be able to see the secondary part of the wing on the other side. And because, again, this is a cutesy painting, I'm taking the back end of my paintbrush handle and let's do a little trail. I did a heart-shaped trail here just by dotting in the heart first. And then I'm going to do a tiny little dotted line going to the flower. And then another tiny little dotted line going around to the back of his stinger. And while we're at it, why don't we add a couple little polka dot trails around the different corners of the flower. I did white, blue, and even pink in the different areas of the painting just to tie in more of that fun color from the background. I'm going to do some final touches. I took my artist sponge with some dark green and just tapped along the bottom of my canvas to hide the bottom rough edges of my grass. And then taking my round brush, I decided to do a couple quick highlights on my leaves and stem. I just used a tiny bit of dark yellow and white for that. And there we go. This was such a fun painting. If you try it, I'd love to see how it turns out, and have a great weekend, everybody.